Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Wheels from What's to East, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make pan-fried meatballs. This is a very easy recipe which doesn't take a long time to make. It's a little bit messy sometimes, but it's not that bad. So hope you enjoy it, and see you in a few. Here's what you'll need to make pan-fried meatballs. A nice baking pan with a little bit of flour in it. I'll show you what to do with it later. The meatball preparation base, which I've made another video explaining how to make this, so check out the other video, you'll see how to make it. Breadcrumbs, the finer that you can find, and a little bit of water. The preparation for this part is extremely easy. You take your meat base and you add the breadcrumbs in, you mix everything very well, and you put it in your refrigerator for about 30 minutes. So as you can see, this is extremely easy. The first part, the preparation of the meat base, takes about 5 to 6 minutes to make, and now you just have to add this and wait 30 minutes for it to cool off a bit and become a little bit more dense. So that's it for the preparation, and I'll see you in the next part, which will be a little bit more messy. And we're back for the final part of the preparation for the pan-fried meatballs. So as I said, this is a little bit messy, but that's how you cook. So now the meat is ready. What you need is your floured pan and some warm water. So what you have to do now is make meatballs. So to do that, you wet your hands a little bit so that the meat doesn't stick out that much, and you take some meat and you try to make a ball with it. So now you can make it any size that you want. Now what I do usually is either make it a little bit bigger than that, like this. It's easier and faster to make larger meatballs because this way you make less of them. So you can make a meatball like that, and you put it in the flour and make it roll a little bit. It has to be completely covered in flour. So this is the first way. The second way is to make smaller balls, which are actually better in my opinion, especially if you have kids, because you can better separate the food. Because sometimes kids don't manage to eat a whole big meatball, and this is just also nicer to people to eat smaller meatballs. They pass very well if you take them with mashed potatoes. It's very nice. So it's up to you. Make whatever size you prefer. You can find out whatever size you prefer, or so you have the time to make smaller meatballs or larger. It's up to you. So that's it. You continue making your meatballs until you've used all the meat, and then you just have to fry them in a pan with oil. So once I'm done, I'm gonna do that. So see you later in the final part when I'm showing you how they end up. And I'm back, everybody. My wife and camerawoman actually proposed that we film the actual frying process. So here it is. I'll show you how to fry the meatballs up to what level they have to be fried. So in a fat bottom pan, I've preheated some oil, so be careful because it tends to spray a lot. So it's not that hard. You just take the meatball, put it in, and you have to return it a couple of times, of course. So put as many as you can, just so that you can gain some time. If you can't feed them all, it doesn't matter. You can always keep adding more when the first ones are ready. So now I have to wait a little bit. Just a little tip: when you take them out, put them in something which is napped with regular all-purpose cooking paper, which will absorb any oil, excess oil that is left on the meatballs. Of course, later on you can take them out and put them in something better looking, but just for the start, put them in something like that, they'll be better and less greasy. So you can return them already. You see they're starting to brown a little bit. You've got to be careful at first because they are quite tender before they cook, so don't push them too hard or they'll break up into small pieces and they won't be meatballs anymore. So that's it, and you leave them like this, you turn them around until they become well brown and a little bit crispy if you like. So just don't burn them, but make sure that they're well cooked, because depending on the size that you've made, they'll cook differently inside and outside. That's why you don't want your heat to be too high, because they'll burn outside and remain raw inside. So yeah, it's just regular frying technique. So that's it. So here are your meatballs. This is what they should look like, so I hope you enjoy it, and see you soon on What's to Eat.